Keilah, and we are back with another video. As y'all already know, I have my handy dandy notebook, so let's get right into it. So before I even go ahead and lay out my 2023 predictions, go ahead and subscribe to my channel so you can keep the news coming and I can keep bringing it to you every day. Go ahead and like the video also so we can go ahead and let everybody know what is going on in this 2023 housing market. Alrighty, so like I just said, these are going to be my predictions for how this 2023 housing market is about to go. It's not controversy, but you already know I'm coming with the facts. But first, let's do a quick rewind. How did we end 2022 as far as pricing and interest rates? Let me tell you. So as far as pricing, as we already know, pretty much from August to November, prices did fall, but it wasn't crazy. They only fell about 1 to 3%. But like I told you guys before, this is because people were not pricing their house correct the first time. So we had major price reductions all across the board. I want to say this was like a nationwide thing. Price reductions was like happening. So after all the price reductions, either people sold their house or they didn't sell their house. The people that sold, this let the market know that the price that you had the second time should have been what it was priced at the first time, and that is actually what the house was worth. The people that didn't sell, it's either that you're still priced too high or pretty much that your house is not worth the price at all and it still needs some renovations. But I've already talked about this in my Why Your Home Hasn't Sold So Far video. I'm gonna drop the link below for that so you guys can check it out if you haven't. After August, pretty much everybody knows that the Federal Reserve was eating us up as far as the interest rates go. Like, they just did not care. They were doing whatever they could do to combat inflation, and it was buyers were out here pretty much fighting for their lives as far as home shopping. Now, once we got that last kick in our butts in November, which was pretty much the highest that it had hit all year, pretty much after that, going into holiday season, interest rates did start to drop, and they actually dropped consecutively for like the last 6 weeks of the year. So pretty much now they're kind of stabilizing around the high 5s, low 6s area, which is not bad at all, people, because when they were at 7 is when we were starting to get scared. But as I've already stated, at the beginning of a recession, interest rates start to increase so they can knock some of the people out, so they can kind of combat. But then as you get deeper into the recession, interest rates do start to come back down. And that's just what we've seen in history over and over again. And that is exactly what happened. But still, that 7% had us kind of shaking in our boots. Okay, so going into 2023, this is what my predictions are going to be as far as pricing and interest rates. So we've already seen a reduction on prices. Now, like I said, it's been 1 to 3% coming out of 2022, but I think this is pretty much where the housing market is going to stabilize. People that are on the market now are pretty much under market value. So I've even seen some homes since I've been, shopping these last couple weeks with a few clients that I have on the teeter-totter. I've seen a few houses where I was like, oh wow, this is priced really low for what it's worth. But I would say I have not seen any houses thus far that have been overpriced starting out the year. So I'm actually really happy that people have finally caught a grip and either are at market value or below. So what a lot of experts have been telling us, realtors, is that we need to see what our medium home price is in our area and then pretty much go a couple thousand under that, whether that be about 10 to 20,000, or if you really want to give yourself a run for your money, depending on how deep your situation is on selling, you may even need to go that 50,000 under. But hey, you have to let the market speak to you. None of us can speak. The market will always let you know what is happening. Now, one thing I will say is that I do have a few people that are still paying over asking price. So, and this is generally for the houses that are priced under market value. Now, I have seen some people offer less than asking, which is okay. I mean, if they have no competition and the seller is that interested in selling, hey, sellers, you cannot be greedy in this market, which we already know. you need to take what you can get and work with your buyers. Now is the time before that spring market rolls right back around. But these are also homes that don't need a lot of renovations. The price is really good for, the seller is asking for, and there's still people getting multiple offers. Now, it's not more than 5 offers, not more than 10 offers, but I still see some, buyers competing with 1 or 2 people. Now, trust me, this is not everywhere. This is a very small percentage. I think the last percentage I saw, it was about 30% of people are still paying over asking price in the state of California. California has the biggest housing issue, and especially going into the new year, it is just absolutely ridiculous when it comes to inventory. So as far as the prices go, they aren't going to be dropping too significantly. I do believe that we'll stay at about the 1 to 3%, as far as price reductions or, just people that are entering the market. I think they're already going to be pretty much pricing below asking price, just to get it taken care of, because a lot of people don't want to have their homes on the market for 3 to 6 months, and it's not even a guarantee if your home will sell after that time. Well, I'll just say sellers are definitely working with buyers, and buyers aren't necessarily taking advantage, but they're the ones paying the high interest rates. So wherever they can get in, that's where they're getting in. Now, as far as interest rates go, I do believe that we are going to remain in the 5 to 6 range for the majority of the year. I don't know by the time we get down back around to 2023 holiday season, but until about June or July, I do feel like we will be kind of in the maybe high 5s, low 6s. And that's what a lot of experts are saying, just because we know we for sure are in a recession. We've been in a recession since July, but now that everybody is starting to catch wind and it's affecting, the entire economy now, I do feel like the Federal Reserve, since they did combat some of the inflation, that they're not going to have their foot on our necks going into, the beginning of the first quarter, going into the second quarter. I do kind of feel like they will be giving us some relief. But now, whether they will continue to drop, I will keep my eye out for it, and we will always come back with an update on that. Okay, so another thing that is happening in California is that apartments and housing rentals, people are eating these prices up. I mean, the landlords are not playing. They are really overcharging for some of these, and I feel like now that it's been some time and a lot of people are looking for homes and moving out of the state, or whatever is happening as far as the economy, a lot of these landlords are kind of starting to get a reality check that you're not going to be able to give low budget apartments or low budget houses for rent and ask for a large amount. An average 3-bedroom here in Los Angeles is about, I want to say, $3,000. So honestly, $1,000 per bedroom. But the thing is that the eviction moratorium is going to be ending at the end of this month, and they say this is the final say so. So a lot of people are going to be in a situation where either they're going to have to pay the higher price for rent, and there's just going to be no accommodation to that, and there's going to be no in between, because they're going to have to find somewhere to live, or they're going to have to pay, where they're living right now. If they have that large lump sum of money, they're going to have to pay that back pay. As we get closer to February, it kind of just seems like landlords are going to be stuck between a rock and a hard place, because it's like you don't know where everybody's income is, and as far as this recession goes, it just seems like it's going to be a lot up in the air for, a lot of people. Now, obviously, the big corporation buildings, they will probably figure out a way to bounce back. But this is mostly going to affect a lot of those homeowner landlords and a lot of those smaller unit, like 2 to 4 unit buildings that are really going to be affected by this, because, you know, if they aren't able to recoup the money and they lose out on even being able to find a replacement, because yes, here you do have to make 3 times the rent, and that is, a lot of people are not in that situation right now. So it's going to be very interesting as we come closer to February, or even once February starts, to kind of see where all of these people are gonna fall, because I know everybody's not gonna be homeless. So it's like, yeah, that's just gonna make the courts even crazier, and I see it being a very chaotic situation. But hey, as always, I'm sure they will try to figure out some method to the madness. But yes, I just wanted to come drop a couple of my predictions for this upcoming year. I mean, it is only the first week, so we don't know how things are going to turn. This is only the second day that the stock market has been back open in the new year. So we're still very fresh. So things can definitely take a turn, but I do believe we are going to stabilize the housing industry right now. I feel like it's definitely going to go back to pre-pandemic levels, which, yes, we are so excited for, because we finally get to breathe as realtors. We don't have to fight for our lives. We don't have to fight for our clients' lives. Yes, there's still a smidget of competition, but hey, there's really no smoke in the clouds as far as the housing market goes. And like I said, I'm pretty sure the Federal Reserve they see how the economy is going. So now that they've been able to combat the inflation, even though food and credit card usage is so high and ridiculous, I do feel like they are going to, you know, give us some breathing room as far as raising rates. They're kind of just going to let it play out probably until the beginning of spring. But as I said, we will probably have another update, you know, as we hit the second quarter going into the summer, because, you know, that is when the most activity starts happening again, and that's when everybody starts to make moves. And then tax season will be here, of course, so everybody will start spending money all over again. So we'll kind of see. I'll keep an eye out on it. You know, I'm gonna always come with the real estate update, so I will have my spring market update very soon. But if you like this video, and if you have any faith or trust in my predictions, go ahead and subscribe, because next week's video we are going to be talking about the elephant in the room, which is the housing market going to crash in 2023? I'm gonna let you know. So if you want to tune into that video, go ahead and subscribe so you can get those notifications. But other than that, it is your favorite realtor, Keilah, and I will talk to you guys soon. And I hope y'all peeped my new intro. Did y'all peep my new intro? Okay, here goes an outro.